Yo, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? This is your coach, your alchemist, Coach Renz, and today I'm going to start adding a type of video to the entire renaissance of this channel because we talk about many different subjects, and I am well versed in many different subjects. Seeing as how I was one of those library kids, and I was the kind of person as a child who, when my grandmother had the green and white encyclopedias. If you're old enough, you remember the green and white encyclopedias. I used to constantly read from A to Z and the reference books of those encyclopedias. And then when Britannica came out, it was a whole nother ball game then. So I am very well versed in many different things, but I want to talk to you about something that I started studying over 25 years ago. I started studying sexual alchemy. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that what I was studying was sexual alchemy. I didn't understand it in the framework that I do today. And mainly because I was studying it from a standpoint of lust. I was studying it from a standpoint of egotism and what I could personally gain from it. I wasn't really studying it because I wanted to be, I wanted to satisfy my bride, more so, as much as I was studying because I didn't want the idea of not lasting long enough, not being virile enough, not making her, head pop off. It was about me, and it wasn't about the union. It wasn't about the energy. It wasn't about the connection. It wasn't about what I've come to learn is one of the most powerful energy sources and masterminding connections that you can have between two people. This is one of the reasons why some of the most successful people in the world have mastered sexual alchemy in one way or another. And one of those primary ways is by accomplishing it with their mate, with their wife, their husband, or whomever they're with, significant other. By mastering this with them, they really create a mastermind. When Napoleon Hill spoke of sex transmutation in all of his books, he vaguely discussed them, but if you piece them together, you start to gain a fuller understanding of what he's talking about. He described Henry Ford and his wife coming together in this mastermind many times in order for Henry Ford to truly develop into the man that he became and to have the level of success that he had. When you look at certain couples in today's world and you see them as a power couple, usually they are either purposely or they just accidentally are masterminding in this sexual alchemy, and most I would say most probably don't know. They just think that they found a great mate who understands them, and they have this, what we like to just generally call chemistry between this sexual chemistry between one another, not realizing that there are far greater levels and heights that if you utilize it properly, that you can achieve it. So let's break it down just a little bit in this video. The first thing I want you to understand is, what is alchemy? All right, alchemy is not some magical, esoteric thing that only a few people in the world have the ability or the opportunity to master. No, this is something that you can master in every aspect of your life just by having accurate thinking of the concept of alchemy and then putting it into practice. You see, alchemy, I know some people are going to go right to the medieval thought process of turning lead into gold, and people actually literally tried to turn lead into gold, and people made millions of dollars turning what they call lead into lead into gold, or gold-looking, gold-plated type material, and they made tons of money, but they were tricksters in doing so. So alchemy truly is beyond the material of turning lead into gold. Now, the practice of smelting metals to get rid of the impurities until you get to the purest state of the metal, which is something practiced by alchemists, is just the physical representation of what you are doing in every other aspect of your life, and as well as in your mind. Right? We will find alchemy throughout all cultures, whether you're talking about the Egyptians or the Chinese, whether you're talking about the Europeans or the Aboriginals, the Americans, Mesoamericans, or you're talking about the people of India or the Middle East. Throughout all lands, Africa, Asia, all lands, Pacific Islanders, there is some form or fashion of alchemy that is taught within their cultures, their religions, within family units, within business, within marriage, within every aspect of it. And the most sacred part of alchemy that is taught is the sexual energy, the sexual alchemy. It is deemed incredibly sacred because of the power that it holds. And honestly, this is one reason why the modern day religious organizations such as Islam, Christianity, Judaism has taken this out. If you go into the more ancient understandings of it, go into the understandings of it when it was first formed, you will see that the alchemy was there, right? That the honeymoon was the couple going to the synagogue or the church, and they went there to learn how to utilize sexual alchemy to produce the child, the clean birth, the immaculate conception. They went and did this. This was a part of the Kabbalah to go and do these kinds of things, and it was in the holy men, the priests, would teach this. In ancient Egypt, they had priests and priestesses. Everybody always had to have a priest and a priestess. The rabbi had to be married. All these kinds of things, they had to have it because they needed the sexual alchemy to occur, and they needed people who could teach it, and they had to be not just knowledgeable of it, but experiential with it. So in the ancient Egypt, they had the priests and priestesses, the Sumerians, the priests and priestesses, and so they've always had the shamans, who also had female shamans, and in the Mesoamericans and the North and the American Native American tribes, because sexual alchemy is the combining of the male and female energies. And we know that in the Hermetic laws, that the seventh law, the law of gender, says that you must have male and female in order to create anything. But what has happened is that the male and female has fallen out of harmony. And as long as they're out of harmony, then creation is stifled. Creation is stifled. This is part of the allegory of the Adam and Eve story of Eve getting out of harmony and the female energy falling, not the female falling, but just the female energy, which is encompassed in both male and female, right? In this three-dimensional state, male and female, we all hold female and male energy. So when the female energy falls and the male energy is up, then we're more aggressive, we're not as caring, we're not as loving, and it is not until we bring the female energy up, which is the two serpents on the caduceus, that we then start to manifest the sexual alchemy, and the energy surges up. It's kind of like how it says that though I walk through the valley of death, I wouldn't fear no fear, for your staff, representing the spine, where your chakra system rises up, shall be with me, a staff and thy rod. Now the staff and the rod is an Egyptian terminology because of the staff and the rod that is held, utilized for sexual alchemy. That's what it's about. This is what Tantra teaches. Is sexual alchemy, of raising the spirit. But see, like I said, what most people, when they hear this, like I was in the grocery store today and I was buying some things, and I happened to look at the magazine racks, and I saw an article that said, like, the summer of sex. And then another article in another magazine said, something to the effect of have your, more sex, better life. And these are usually articles that are geared towards the lustful, gratuitous aspects of it, not the compassionate, energetic, masterminding, alchemical aspects of it. So let's break that down just a little bit, then I'm going to let you guys go. So if we look at this from the chakra system, the sexual alchemy works in the same framework as your chakra system. If you've seen some of my videos before, you know that I talked about how to unblock your chakra, that your base chakra is blocked by fear, right? So it's blocked by fear. Now here's the thing about it. Let me help you to understand it. It's blocked by fear. We sometimes read articles and want to learn about sex and how to be better at sex because we are operating from a point of, I'm afraid of what the woman may say about me if I don't last long enough. And yes, gentlemen, one of the side benefits of understanding sexual alchemy is that you do begin to last longer. But the purpose is not for you just to gain egotism. But the fear is that I must learn this. I must learn how to breathe correctly. I must learn how to move correctly so that when I feel the surge of the orgasm, I can breathe my way out of it. But if you understand true alchemy, it is not breathing out of it, but rather sexually transmuting that energy, that orgasmic energy, into a different chakra. If together with the person that you love and you want to have more love, you breathe that energy through your love chakra, right? Your heart chakra. If the two of you are masterminding about business or vision, then you may breathe that energy through your third eye chakra so that you are masterminding that sexual energy there. But too often we're doing it out of the fear, out of the thing that blocks the energy. Thereby, we expel the energy through the ejaculation without its actual purpose, without its actual primary, not primary, without you actually utilizing it for a higher purpose. So we'll work from our sexual alchemy in the framework of the blocks. And in that way, all we're doing is wasting the energy. We're not creating, we're not developing, we're not bringing more into our life. We're not manifesting the things that this sexual energy is designed to be able to manifest. If we're working it from our sacral chakra, then we may be doing it out of guilt. I am making love to him because I feel guilty that I did not yesterday, or the day before, the day before, the day before. I'm doing it out of the guilt because I know that it's supposed to be my duty to ensure that he or she is sexually happy. But so I'm doing it, but I'm doing it out of guilt. Yes, it's pleasurable, but I'm trying not to be guilty. I'm trying to maintain some peace in the household so that there's not an argument of guilt. Or I'm doing it out of the shame. I'm ashamed of what I have become or what I've done. I'm ashamed of I've cheated and I've done things like that, and I'm doing it out of shame. And so out of that shame, I breathe out my sexual energy and release it into waste, instead of saying that this is the person that I love, I cherish, this is the person that I am masterminding with, and I have no shame. I'm not shameful for how my actions are around them, the affection, the love that I give them. And so when I breathe this through my power chakra, I'm breathing it with all confidence and power. And if we are masterminding this expression, this sexual expression right now, to build a power base of a couple or to accomplish a certain task, then I'm going to breathe it out, or breathe it in actually, in that framework, so that I'm using the sexual alchemy of raising the sexual energy up up to the chakra that I needed to. Now, we're going to add in the Egyptian techniques of unking the energy. See, if you breathe, some tantrikas will teach you to breathe that energy all the way up to your crown chakra and release it out. No. That energy is not to be released out into your crown chakra. That energy is to be breathed out. Hit your heart chakra. The ankh goes through your back and around and back into your heart chakra, and then you move it to whatever chakra that you want, that you want to have more confidence in, or you want to, manifest something in. Now there's a lot more detail that go into all of this and for each chakra and how it works, but this is the idea behind sexual alchemy of growing and developing. All right, guys, slight interruption, but I have no idea where I left off, but I'm pretty sure they'll come back and click to me. But here's the thing: I'm not going to go through each chakra and how you raise the energy and how and go through working from your sexual alchemy, not from the block of it, but from the having the chakra spinning in proper format so that the energy flows correctly. But what I can tell you is that in my experience, after the first 6 years of studying sexual alchemy, I started to realize that I was doing it wrong. I was doing all the different exercises as far as, and the Taoistic exercises. I was doing all that. I was meditating. And yes, my sexual performance increased dramatically, but my energetic performance did not. My connections did not. And then when I did develop more and I wanted to get involved with different heart holes and other things like that from Tantra, so that we can increase our energetic connection, they weren't as solidified because I had spent so much time just working from a physical, lustful base that I had that it took a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of talking, conversation to move over to a more spiritual connection. So if you've been doing it from a lustful point, if you've been making love and having sex from a lustful point, a physical point, then recognize it will take you time to develop into a person who is more esoteric. It's like the late Prince said, that sex with me ain't enough. That's why we got to do it metaphysically, because when you are in that type of mastermind with another person, then the things that you can accomplish. I believe it's one of the books from the Nag Hammadi writings. It's either the Secret Writings of Peter or Secret Writings of James. It's one of those books, or maybe even the Gospel According to Mary Magdalene. They spoke of when the husband and the wife come together in one mind, then those two become more powerful than any other force. Being able to tell the mountain to be cast in the sea, and it will uproot itself and be cast into the sea. I know you've heard that similarly, where it just talked about having enough faith and having no doubt, or having two people coming together and Yeshua's in their presence, or I am in their presence. The I am is in their presence. I know you've heard similar sayings of that, but understand it from the sexual alchemy point, which has been taught for eons of time, that this is the thing that truly moves mountains. It truly moves mountains. What I have experienced and in my life by maintaining control over it, and that's the last part that I want to really get you to understand in this video, is that it is not about denying yourself. It is not about overindulgence, but it is about having accurate thoughts about sexual energy and the purpose of sexual energy, and your and how to truly enjoy it. You still enjoy it, but to utilize it for a greater purpose. When people get into the point of denial, then they're taking their body, their sexual organs, their endocrine system goes through starvation, and it gets out of whack. It becomes warped, and it's kind of like how nature, when you get sick, it gives you a fever. Your body gets out of sync when you are in a constant state of denial. But the same thing happens when you're overindulging. When you overindulge, you become a slave to it, and your body is out of sync, your mind is out of sync, your activities become out of sync. This is why you have people. Tiger Woods is a perfect example. Could have taken over the mantle of Muhammad Ali, being the most recognizable person in the world, playing a sport that is worldwide. Could have become that Muhammad Ali level character, but yet where Muhammad Ali gained control over his sexual energy, Tiger Woods has yet to do so. And in not doing so, he has made decisions. He has placed himself in situations that has damaged his career, that has damaged his legacy. Not that it's too late for him. He can still come back to it, because there is a seniors tour, and he could deliver if he could deliver the performance in the seniors tour, but have control over his sexual energy, then he could once again become that world-renowned person where people are saying, I am Tiger Woods. But so understand it. If you look at it from that point, look at your life. What are you doing? How are you handling your sexual energy? Are you in a state of denial to the point where it's creating an imbalance? And let me give you one idea of how that imbalance happens. Now, I'm not going to talk about the Catholic priest or the ministers who become sex predators, but that is one result that could possibly happen. But one of the more common results is that when a person denies themselves, they deny the access of utilizing it properly and having accurate thought of it. They then get involved in a relationship, and they may hold back for a while and wait, and then maybe they wait 90 days, maybe they wait until marriage, I don't know. But then they believe that, okay, because I've been in denial for so long, once I am married, once I'm in a deep committed relationship, it's going to be 7 days a week, 3-4 times a day, because I'm going to be like, whoa, all over them. And that's what you convey to the other person. But then once you are involved in that relationship, and then you get used to it, and then it becomes habit, and now you've just been doing it out of, because you started doing it out of lustful reasons, or doing it out of a guilt that, oh, I must not have sex until I'm married, or shame because you acted a certain way and people have shamed you, or the lies that you've learned about it. When you've done it out of this, or the illusions that you have about it, when you've done it because you were working out of a chakra block, I don't even know if chakra is a real word, but out of a block like that, you then you do it, and it satiates you initially, but then after a while you slow it down. You get into a rhythm, your true rhythm. You get into your true physical rhythm of it, and that person, male or female, who you initially said that I was this and I was that and I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna give it to you like that, and then you was out every day all over them, showing them all that affection and all that love, and you was doing it, and it could be both of y'all. And then you get into this rhythm and then you start wondering, well, what happened? Where'd the love go? Where'd the affection go? Where'd all that good, spontaneous sex go? Where did all that doing it everywhere in the park and all that kind of stuff go? Where did the dress up go? Where did the flirtation go? Where where did the love notes and the dating and the flowers and the dancing, where did all that go? It went because it wasn't real, because you didn't understand sexual alchemy, because your sex was based on physical lust or working on it from a point of fear or guilt, shame, or grief or something like that. It wasn't working from a point of understanding the true knowledge, the true usage and knowledge and power and potential of sexual alchemy. And because of that, now it's manifesting itself in a way that is damaging. Now the relationship has a fever. Now you have a fever, and your body's trying to correct it. Your energy's trying to correct it. The universe is trying to correct it, but you turn a deaf ear to it. You turn a deaf heart to it, a deaf mind to it, and you find yourself regressing. And the next thing you know, you're out of that relationship, and it's on to the next one. And I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna deny. Now, when you overindulge, it's completely opposite. You overindulge and you just give it and give it and give it and give it, and you become desensitized to it. It's kind of like a person who watches porn constantly. You become desensitized to it, and there is no heart involved. There's no emotion involved. It just becomes an act of satisfying a physical need. It's almost like a drug, where it's like my body quivers without it because I've overindulged in it. And because of that overindulgement, I now make decisions of stupid decisions. I'm gonna get with this prostitute. I'm gonna get with that person. I'm gonna pay money here to be with that person. I'm gonna put myself in dangerous situations, or I'm just going to be with this person, and I don't really care for them. I don't really like them, but I'm gonna build some semblance of a life with them because I just have to have it, and they give it to me the way I want it. They give it to me just like that too. We're both like overindulging in it, but I really don't care for their personality. I really don't care for how they take care of me. I really don't care for how they work or how they live. I don't care for so many things about them, but because I'm in this constant state of overindulging and I gotta have it like a drug, then I set myself up into a situation where I'm making poor decisions, and then I begin to make poor financial decisions, and you begin to make poor health decisions, and then those decisions begin to accumulate, and now you have a poor life. So you must maintain control of it. Never be overindulgent to the point where it is deciding your decision. Now, you can be high sex. You can have a high drive. You can make love 7 days a week, and that's fine. But always know that you have control over this, that you have accurate thought over it, and that you are utilizing that energy to serve your greater purpose and the greater purpose of you and the person you're with and your universe in its entirety. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stop right there. And I hope that this has been beneficial and helpful to some. I hope this gets you started on recognizing that sexual energy and sexual transmutation, that sexual alchemy is nothing to be ashamed of nor to be hidden. It's nothing to deny yourself the benefits of. If you truly study those who have been the most successful in life, you will see that they got to a point, or they have always had some level of mastery over sexual alchemy. Now, there are two other areas that's not sexual alchemy, but those two areas mastery must be accompanied in those areas as well. Those are for a totally different video. But comment if you want to see those videos. Comment if you like this video and would like to see more videos like this. Share and subscribe. So y'all have a great day. This is your alchemical coach, Coach Renz, Sexual Alchemy at its finest. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. And always remember, free yourself to be yourself. And if you have more information that's deep diving, feel free to comment. I don't ever claim to know everything, because I'm always in a position of being a teacher and a student, but more so the student than the teacher. So y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Free yourself to be yourself.